You're listening to Bizarre Buffet, a podcast of all-you-can-eat weird. I'm your host, Mark Torriello.
I'm Jen Wilson.
And I'm Mark Bluestein.
There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
When we first went in, one of the people said, "Who are you?" And Tex said, "I'm the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's business."
Island boy. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
This is another hour of your parachute has been cut and you've already jumped from the plane.
That was our last episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
We covered a skydive murder.
Oh my God, so horny.
I know.
Can you
So
Everything's
imagine?
horny.
is.
everything lately has been horny.
I mean-
At one point, it was hot.
Now we
it's
progressed.
Now
horny.
it's horny buffet.
But I mean, can you imagine
Horny buffet.
Horny buffet.
being so horny that you cut your friend's parachute strings? I mean, that's another level of horny.
That is a whole other level.
Yeah. But I mean, what are we getting into tonight, Jennifer Wilson?
Well, my question tonight is, what is a cool, rare genetic trait that you have seen in a person?
A tail.
A
Oh,
tail.
yeah.
You've actually physically seen someone with a tail.
Not in person.
Okay.
I think it's cool in theory.
It is cool in theory. It's
Yeah.
interesting. It's different.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like, when one eye is one color, like it could be like a blue and then the other one's a brown.
Yeah, I
like
love that.
two
Very nice.
contrasting colors are really interesting.
That is
I think
super
that's
neat.
beautiful.
Yeah. Albinos are fun.
Yeah.
Hi,
I like an albino.
albinos.
Hi.
Hi, if you
Hello,
want to talk
everyone.
to us,
Hey.
let us know.
I'm thinking two things. One is elephantitis because I love big balls. So, I'm like, yeah.
That's a different level of
Good one.
But
At least I'm being honest. And the other thing is the
Mark's like
being-
the elephant man. Hot.
And
Hot,
I
horny
like-
for the elephant man.
That's like the what's it called? The
Yeah,
trunk. No,
yeah.
trunk.
The trunk.
Yeah.
I also like when you can move your ears.
Yeah.
And
Wiggle
not
your
everyone
ears.
can do that.
Yeah.
Like you
No.
can't like rolling your tongue.
Yeah.
We can all
can.
do that.
All
we've
of us can do
discovered.
it. Can you do it? Try it.
Try it with us.
Yeah.
And yeah.
On the count of three, we're all gonna do it. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Patreon content. ASMR.
ASMR. That's
Tongue
exactly what I was
rolling.
gonna say. Tongue rolling. So this episode was recommended to us by our very own Jerry.
Jar Jar.
Hi,
Yes,
Jerry.
my
Hi,
boyfriend.
Jar Jar. We love you, Jar Jar.
I know.
We love a Jar Jar moment.
I love Jar Jar.
Oh, we all do.
Well, I love him the most.
Fight me about it.
Fuck you.
It's gonna be a fight.
Oh, it's gonna
There
be a
is going to
fight.
be a fight. So,
Jar Jar, I'm coming.
oh my God.
You tell Jen Wilson, calm down.
Oh my goodness. We're going to be fighting over my man now.
I know, fighting over.
I think
So-
it's funny because we like around a little bit before you guys like started becoming a thing. We did an episode on Jerry Brutos.
Yes.
The shoe fetish.
The
slayer.
shoe fetish slayer. We always make reference.
We do. Can I just add a funny comment about that before we get into this? So I look at like our stats on like our YouTube page and like our listeners and hi everybody. But one of our search terms on YouTube, why Jerry Brutus comes up, is high-heeled shoes. I don't know who's searching high-heeled shoes, but I could just imagine that some woman or man or anything in between is searching high-heeled shoes on YouTube, and our Jerry Brutus episode comes up.
I love it.
It just makes me happy. I want
At
to
least
love
someone that's like, I don't know.
like a tween who's like high heels.
they're like
I don't know.
Christian
It could be. It could be a little kid.
It could be.
It could be like a grown ass man.
Absolutely.
Or like an 11-year-old that wants a pair of Christian Louboutins.
Yeah,
and they
cha-cha
find us
heels.
instead. Yeah,
Cha-cha heels.
I know. Well, I hope we get subscribers from your high-heeled shoe search.
Thank you, whoever that was. So,
Thank you.
kind of taking us back, but I'm not doing what Jen Wilson normally does. With
Okay.
taking us back in time with a year. But
Okay.
have you ever heard of the Blue People of Kentucky?
No.
Sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know.
Okay, so there used to be a group of people that existed for about 150 years in the area of Hazard, Kentucky, that had blue skin.
Hazard.
Oh.
Hazard, Kentucky.
Sounds like it was a
Oh,
hazard.
God.
Yeah.
Wow, blue skin.
So it was later revealed that the blue skin. Now, I just want you all to know, side note, in my notes, every time it says blue or blue skin, I put it in blue font.
I'm very glad.
It was a symptom of a condition called, now I'm going to butcher this, it's called methemoglobinemia.
Oh, I mean, that sounds right to me. What does that
Can I say
mean?
the word?
Methemoglobinemia. Methemoglobinemia.
So this is a rare genetic trait that causes your skin to turn the color blue.
Oh.
You're turning violet.
Mark Bluestein.
Mark Bluestein.
Don't you dare flick me.
Maybe we.
No, I might be. Am I turning blue?
Yeah, you are. The victims of this condition were descendants of the Fugate family, who later became known as the Blue People of Kentucky,
Okay.
or the Blue Fugates.
Oh, wow. Like
Do you
the
know
Blue Man Group.
what year was the
We're gonna get there.
Blue Gate?
Blue.
We're gonna get there. Don't worry. What is this genetic condition?
Absolutely.
It's a blood disorder that's caused by a metabolic condition that affects hemoglobin, which is the 4-part protein that carries oxygen bound to an iron atom at each subunit's core. It is caused by certain medications, it's caused by chemicals, or it can be genetically inherited from parents.
Is it like an incest thing?
We're gonna get there.
Okay.
You are jumping the gun.
I'm sorry.
You're pulling a Jen Wilson
I am.
and Mark Torriello together.
A combo. I'm sorry. All just from one.
There was nothing physically wrong with their bodies except for the color of their skin. So health-wise, they were well. There was nothing wrong with the descendants of the family as the years went on. It was just their skin was blue.
That seems unbelievable, but wow.
I know. So around 1820, Martin Fugate, who was a French orphan, he settled in the Hazard, Kentucky area. He married a woman by the name of Elizabeth Smith, and they planned to start a family together.
The Blue Man Group family.
Smurfs.
The Smurfs.
Smurfs on ice.
Exactly.
Smurfs in Kentucky.
Sorry.
The Blue Man Fugate. So they both were unaware that they carried this gene that turned their skin indigo blue.
Wow.
They wound up having 7 children, and out of the 7, 4 of them wound up having blue skin.
Cool. Wow. Can I ask, like, the shade of blue out of
Indigo.
curiosity?
Like indigo, so it's like a dark, like a deep blue.
Wow.
Think like Violet from Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Turning violet.
Oh,
Or like a heavily saturated jean jacket from Urban Outfitters.
that's very specific.
That is very specific, Mark.
I just think of highly saturated jean jackets being from Urban Outfitters.
They are though.
Right?
That's pretty much
Isn't
the
that
only
a
place
thing?
you can find them.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's like what my mind goes to.
Yeah.
Any hoodle.
So the area of Hazard, Kentucky was very isolated. At the time, there weren't roads for local citizens.
Okay. Wow.
It wasn't until 1910 that they got a railroad. It would sometimes take like days to just walk to Hazard, Kentucky through like the mountains.
They might have turned blue in the winter.
They could have. There were few families living in the area. Few of them related to Elizabeth, who was Martin's wife.
Okay.
The Fugates began to intermarriage as they were left with no other option because of the isolation. So pretty much everybody in Hazard, Kentucky, like, were distant relatives of each other. Hot. This also led to a higher probability of passing along the gene and having kids with blue skin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it was a small, dense
Area.
area.
Wow. That's insane.
right? Isn't that insane?
It
Yeah.
makes me think of like some of the characters in X-Men, like what was there? There was
All of them.
Gambit. Was it not Gambit?
No, Mystique. Mystique was the blue
Is that who
one.
Holly Berry
But
played?
then
No, she was Storm.
Storm.
It was initially played by Rebecca Romaine
Stamos.
Yeah.
and
She's
then,
dropped the Stamos since.
Yes, she has. But then in recent years, she's been played by Jennifer Lawrence.
Gotcha.
Not like I'm a huge super hero movie person, but the makeup on Mystique is so fantastic.
I love it.
Like the design of her. But then there was another guy that was blue also.
Freeze from Batman.
Nightcrawler? No.
No, not Nightcrawler from X-Men. Oh God, Beast.
Beast, but
Beast.
he was in part 2.
Yeah, Beast.
Oh, that was his name?
I
What
think
about
it was Beast.
Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
That was Batman.
Yeah, true.
Oh, and then there was that like purple guy on the Power Ranger movie, Ivan Ooze, and he was like, okay, I got a little too far
Oh, that's
there.
okay. We went on a Reddit.
It's okay. It's all right. We went on our own little
Yeah.
made-up Reddit rabbit hole.
Exactly.
Totally fine. We do it all the time here at Bizarre Buffet.
That's what we do.
Other families in nearby communities were terrified that they would wind up having blue-skinned children, so they avoided marriage into the Fugate family at all costs.
Probably a.
And they probably did that to black people too, because they're probably racist.
Oh, absolutely.
Way to go for
Good
it.
job, Mark. Thank
Yeah, very good point.
I'm woke.
She is. She's woke. Woke.
Yes, you are woke. So a few descendants of the family began to move out and they started settling into different parts of the country now that there was a railroad. Different modes of transportation were starting to evolve. And as time passed, new families moved in, which allowed the Fugates to marry outside of their family with people who did not share their genes.
Okay. Non-relatives.
Exact non-blood.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's I guess, a positive.
So in the later years, in like the 60s, Rachel and Patrick Ritchie, they were both two blue descendants of the Fugates family. They met with a doctor, Madison Cowine, who was a hematologist.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey, Maddie. At the University of Kentucky's Lexicon Medical Clinic.
Okay.
And the couple was embarrassed for the color of their skin because there was a perception in the minds of people that it was because of intermarriage and incest, essentially.
Well, they didn't give him much of a choice. This was
here.
Kentucky.
This is Kentucky.
I mean, but at the end of the day,
Like,
right? I'm not saying it's demons, but what is it, Mark?
It's demons.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like in those areas, isn't there like a lot of incest anyways?
Well, there is, but there's also a lot of racism. And in some areas, people accepted this group of people who had blue skin. There were other areas where they faced a lot of discrimination and it caused a lot of psychological trauma.
Yeah, which is sad.
I mean, because like it's not something that you can control.
Yeah, and that's the thing, it's seemingly developed probably over years of
Breeding.
Breeding.
Interbreeding. You said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's a shame because no one should be discriminated because of the color of their skin, but blue, and I guess of the time where they were, it was kind of like, that's like a different area. Not that it's okay, because it's not.
Yeah.
But like, it's a whole new realm.
Well, like now with
Right?
social media and stuff, like if you saw someone that had a weird pigmentation, not weird, but if you saw someone
different-
with
like
a
a-
different pigmentation or an abnormality,
Wouldn't be shocking.
You would know. You'd be like, oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Or you feel bad, or they
Yeah.
have something wrong with them because
Yeah.
you're kind of desensitized and you've seen these things on the
Yes.
internet. But back then,
Yeah, it was like if you met a blue person, you'd be like, what's happening?
yeah, I mean, I'm sure coming across a person of color back then was a big deal, let alone
Yeah.
a blue person.
Well,
Yeah.
those are just ignorant assholes.
Exactly. So then started some research work being done, as I stated. This hematologist that I mentioned and a nurse named Ruth Pendergrass, it was very significant to understand the root cause of the issue, to take the preventative action as well.
Okay.
So their contribution in the field of this study is immense, of this rare genetic disease. Both of them wound up compiling a family tree of people who were suffering from this disease, not this family, from this disease. I mean, technically this family, but from this disease.
Both. Yeah.
They published a detailed note in 1964 that the blue hue will start to disappear and stop the pigmentation of the skin if methylene blue is injected into the patient's body who is suffering from this problem.
Oh, holy shit. So, are there some blue people still born?
Well, we're going to get there. You keep jumping
my
the gun,
God.
Jen Wilson and Mark
I know.
Torriello.
I'm doing a 2/3 bizarre buffet moment.
So, yes, you are. You are. You're doing like a one-man show tonight.
So they're saying that they could get rid of the blue by injecting.
Injection. Madison and Ruth, they discovered during their investigation that there actually were two people with similar symptoms before Martin Fugate and Elizabeth Smith in 1820.
So they were the scapegoats.
There's still disagreement and debate among modern day researchers that all of the patients with this rare genetic skin condition are descendants of the Fugate family. There's a quote that I found by a doctor named Aliyu Teferi, who's a hematologist in Minnesota, that states, "You almost never see a patient with this today. It's a disease that one learns about in medical school, and it is infrequent enough to be on every exam in hematology. It also exemplifies the intersection between disease and society and the danger of misinformation and stigmatization."
Oh, wow. So I just feel like an asshole now.
Good job, Mark.
Thank you.
So a young lad named Benjamin Stacy,
Hey,
who
Ben.
he was born in 1975. He is the last person known to be born with this active gene, and his treatment was successful.
Whoa.
He is the great-great-great-great-grandson, so great-great-great-great,
So that's 4 generations.
4 generations of Martin and Elizabeth.
And he had it.
Yeah. There was panic among the hospital staff as Benjamin was almost purple in color when he was born.
Oh, wow.
Like straight up purple. As he grew up, the indications of the disease ceased to exist, so it started to go away. But no one knows if Benjamin is still alive or not. His mother, who is Hilda Stacy, appears to still live in Hazard, Kentucky, but did not answer any calls that have gone to her home. There are other relatives that are scattered throughout Virginia and Arkansas, but stay kind of under the radar.
Wow.
It's suggested an inbred line has been passed from generation to generation, and in order to get this disorder, a person would have to inherit 2 genes, one from each parent. And when both parents have that trait, their child has a 25% chance of getting the disorder.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking wild.
So that's the blue people of Kentucky,
I love it.
Wow.
right?
Whoa.
And I feel like it fits into our, our bizarre buffet world.
It
because
absolutely does.
How
they're
often do you
blue.
see someone exactly walking down the street with blue skin?
Da-da-da-da-da.
Like normally, if somebody is dealing with, frostbite, sometimes their lips will turn blue if they're cold. But I've never ever.
Or if you're dead.
Well, that too. But I've never seen somebody with blue pigmentation.
Me neither.
Of their skin.
Wow.
I wonder if it affected their hair. If their
It
hair
could.
color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? I mean,
Well, if you look at a picture of Benjamin Stacy, he doesn't you don't see the blue tint.
but didn't they give him the treatment that
Yeah.
would rid him of the blue pigment?
So they injected them with blue pigment. Is that what it was?
Correct.
Into their bloodstream?
To counteract.
Because it makes me think of what you mentioned with hair dye. Like color can remove color.
Yes. So it's like if someone wants to, get rid of green, you add red.
Yeah.
Or if you want,
Mixing primary colors.
yeah.
But even some of the things too, it's like if you're dyeing your hair and you get some on your face, if you take the hair dye,
And you use it on your skin.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'll color removes color. Like,
yeah, exactly. Look at you.
Yeah.
You
Well,
remember. So,
I
yeah.
do.
For those of you at home who might do your hair color, if you get it on your skin, color does remove color. So don't throw it the extra away. Blue Man Group in
Yeah.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
And New York City
And
and
Kentucky.
all over the world in Kentucky, in Hazard,
yeah.
Kentucky.
Conspiracy theory, the Blue Man Group is really blue. What do you think? Silence.
it could be. I mean, they're very shiny.
I do know somebody that I went to college with who is now a member of the Blue Man Group.
Crickets are still going. Does he?
He did not have blue skin.
What do they do? Are
debunked
they like
already.
musicians? Or
They're
are they
like musicians. They're like I can't
Were
really
they like
explain it.
Stomp? Remember Stomp?
It's like Stomp. I think it's from the same like producers.
Now, is it like a core group, or could you?
There's
anyone...
multiple blue men. Like so, you have a group of blue men in
How did we get into
in
Blue
New
Man?
York.
Vegas
You have them in
and-
Vegas, so it's not like the same trio.
Okay, so it's like mall Santas.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
okay.
But they're the ones that like you have to if you go see their show and you're in like the first couple of rows, you have to wear like a poncho.
Yeah.
Because like they'll be playing the xylophone and like paint starts splattering into the audience.
Oh, cute. That's like that band Guar. Is that
Guar, yeah,
Guar.
with the blood, guts, and shit.
I used to know someone from Philly who would always ask me, "You want to go see Guar?" And I'd be like, "Not particularly."
I would.
I mean,
So
I
if you
would have.
want to
Okay.
get your taste of the blue people of Kentucky, you can always go see Blue Man Group.
Yeah, absolutely. It has nothing to do.
It has
but,
nothing to do, but if you need
they
that
have blue
little-
paint.
Why has it gotta be blue?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And now is the Blue Man Group racist?
Yes. Because there's blackface and now there's blue face.
Conspiracy theory
Conspiracy
hour.
theory. So, if you would like to give us your thoughts on this,
On our
please
Patreon.
go to our Patreon. You can message us on Instagram at
Yeah.
Bizarre Buffet, Facebook at
Yeah.
Bizarre Buffet.
Absolutely. Twitter, YouTube, if you care to watch and see the beauty before you that tells you all these terrible tales. Terrible and great tales, mind you. Yeah, and if you may, if you must, if you could, please leave us a review on Apple/iTunes. What is it, Jen? Please tell us.
5 stars, not one.
Not a 1
A
star.
positive, not a negative review.
You heard it here, baby. That was wonderful. Thank you, Jen, for this amazing story.
You're welcome.
And until next time, I am the last blue person of Kentucky.
And I am the railroad that they built in the 1900s that went through Hazard, Kentucky.
I love that.
And I'm the artist S2E57 who wrote the song Blue.
Oh,
I'm blue, it's goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Bye.